Hey there, planners. Today I am going to share with you two of the digital planners that I will be using in 2023. And these will serve different purposes. They're not planners that I'll use all the time, but they are options that I want available to myself. They are digital planners that I made all on my own. It is super simple, and I'll talk more about that in the video. So go grab your planners and let's get planning. All right, so if you are new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you here on Planning Annie with all of my favorite people hanging out with my tribe. If you love to talk about to-do lists and planners and organizing things and getting things done while also having fun, then you are definitely in the right place. I hope you will consider subscribing and becoming a permanent part of our little community. And for those of you who are returning, welcome. I am excited today to show you two options that I will be hopping in and out of as I go through the year ahead, 2023, for digital planners. So I love digital planning. There are some things that digital planning just makes more sense for. And there are also certain times when I just need to plan digitally because I need everything in this one device, this one iPad. And it just makes sense for me to hop into digital planning. So I like to have those options. I started out the year in 2022 all in, everything in digital planning. And I learned a ton. I learned a ton about the functionality, the limitations, the benefits, the pros, the cons, all of it. And so I am taking all those great learnings from last year and applying them this year. And what I know about myself is I love paper, and it's actually kind of how my brain works to write things down, which is also why I like digital planning and GoodNotes, because I can continue to write things down. But that paper tactile feel is important to me. However, there are some real benefits to digital planning that I want to make sure to bring into this year. So I have built two digital planners for myself. Now you might be thinking, wow, that's really techie. But actually it's not. It's super simple to do. And I have a whole video series on how to build your own digital planners. I will have that link down below. In case you want to build your own digital planner. It's super simple. If you're not into that, if you just want a planner to grab and go and use, I would highly recommend checking out Etsy. I will have a couple of my favorite digital planners on Etsy listed down in the description box below if you're looking for something to check out. Okay, so let's start with this one, My Secret Plan to Rule the World. This is actually a planner that I built for work so that I can hop into here when I feel like I need it, if I'm traveling, if I need to go light, or if I just need to switch things up a bit and have a digital option. This is going to be the tool that I use in 2023 for work. This is a cover. It's an image. Obviously, I grabbed this off. I believe I grabbed this off Canva or maybe Pixabay, Pexels, one of those. But yes, so this is the cover. And then we get right into the 2023 year at a glance. And the great thing about digital planning is the ability to use links to quickly navigate around the planner. So I'll just kind of go over how I've set this up. I have tabs over here on the right, and basically I have 2023 goals, projects, and then the 12 months of the year. At the top, I have kind of sub areas to whatever this page is. And for this one, I've got, the 2023 year at a glance, and then I've got some key dates, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. And then in here, actually, all of these are clickable links on these calendars. So let's say I want to get to Wednesday, March 15th. I just click on that and boom, I'm at Wednesday, March 15th. Now, if I want to get back to that year, I just click on 2023 and I'm back. So this makes for a really handy sort of navigational point within the calendar. The other items that I have here, I went ahead and gave myself a key date. So you can see I was testing, testing 1, 2, 3 on August, but key dates so I can kind of like a future log, plug in some items. And then I also have a quarterly planning section, and these also March 15th. I can get back to that. March 15th. Very quickly. So I've got, sort of quarterly planning if I want to use this for activities that I know are going on in an individual quarter. All right, so that is the first section of my planner. Let me show you what goals looks like. So I've got a cover page for goals, and then I've got a place for 8 goals. And you saw me set up my work bullet journal, which is, kind of like the complete opposite of this, right? This is very digital. That was very, very basic old school bullet journaling style. But I've got a place for goals, and then I can actually click into these using the arrow button and get to a goals kind of action plan page. So this has the goal, the start, the finish, the reason, the reward, the action plan, due dates, notes, milestones, place for details. So I've got a place for each one of these to break it down even further. And I also have a notes page associated with each goal. So that's kind of the area for goals. I think that's going to give me a lot of flexibility to document what I want and get to these quickly using the goals tab on the side. I have a very similar setup for projects. So here's project page, same thing. I've got project milestones, start date, goals, notes page. This would be like top level reference information for goals. For projects. Then I dip into the months. So the way I have the months set up, the days that come before and after are kind of highlighted out. I went for the biggest box possible to have plenty of room to write in. I've got a notes section, and I've got 2 links up here, one to plan and one to review. So this is like a monthly pre-planning section, and this is a monthly review section. I'll show you what those look like. So here's the pre-plan. I've got top goals and priorities, and then a couple boxes, a checklist, and this is just a January plan section. And then the review section is actually kind of what happened. What were the accomplishments? What were the difficulties? Best moments next month, all of that. So every month has those 2 pages. So for example, if I'm in January and I want to go out to June and I want to, make sure, let's say, I want to make sure I'm aware that, on June 8th, there is a trip to New York City. So there, I've got it captured there, and then when I, come back to the June plan, I've got that sort of captured in my pre-plan. All right, in addition to that, you can navigate to any week or day from the monthly calendar. So I actually have monthly view, a weekly view, and a daily view set up for every month of the year. So for example, these buttons are these little highlights here on the right hand side of the calendar are the weekly views, so I can get to the first week of the month here. The way I have this set up is I've got a little mini calendar which allows me to navigate, so I can jump around either the weeks by using the week numbers or the day of the month. Now, I don't actually have Saturday and Sunday available in this calendar because it wasn't needed. It's for work. I don't need that. But then I have the days of the week, and I have work hours, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hopefully I don't work that many hours every day, but some days I do. And I've got a place to be able to write what's going on, and then also any to-dos here at the bottom. I have the review for the previous week because you guys know how important a weekly review is to me. I've talked about this a ton of times. So I wanted to make sure that was built into my digital work planning system. So I've actually got a link to the previous week's review and a link to the next week's review in each one of the weekly pages. So for example, I can quickly get to the weekly review for this week. Or the next weekly review. So there's lots of flexibility there. All right. I can also get to the days of the week from this page by using the mini calendar. So each day looks like this, and it's kind of a blank slate that allows me to put notes in, capture ideas, list out, make a list, anything I need to do. And I can always add in additional pages, but you can see just flipping through, the days of the week are available. And that is kind of the setup for the entire rest of the planner. Being able to quickly navigate to days is super handy. And I love the flexibility of having this available. So this is one digital planner that I built that I'm excited to use. And this one is really geared towards work. I'm going to be using this as I feel like I need digital planning at work. Let me flip over to a different planner that I'm going to be using in 2023 that is more for personal, when I want to jump into digital planning for personal. All right, so when I want to jump into digital planning in my personal planning, which happens sometimes, a lot of times I'm feeling like I need to scale back, or if I'm traveling and I just want one thing that I'm carrying, or just various reasons. I caught a video on YouTube of a digital planner setup, and I'm like, oh gosh, I want to use digital stickers again. There's all kinds of reasons why. I just want to have that option available, and of course I want it to be customized to me. So I built this planner. This is a January through June, so I kept it just to the first half of the year. If I want to keep going, I can of course update it for July through December later in the year, but the setup is that of a Hobonichi cousin. So I did not buy a Hobonichi cousin, a physical Hobonichi cousin this year, because I built myself a digital Hobonichi cousin. And that is really going to be the setup for this. As I walk through this, you'll recognize that setup, because I really wanted to emulate that. I love the Hobonichi cousin. I love the way it's laid out. I love the format, all of that stuff. I don't love the price, and I don't love how fat and thick and chunky it gets and impossible to carry around. So I figured this would be the easiest way to do that. So the layout that I've got here, this is the year at a glance. These are not clickable. All the navigation to the actual months occurs over here on the right-hand side, where I have January through December. I've got some tabs here at the top. I've got yearly, which is this. This is the year at the glance. I've got the index, kind of like the Hobonichi cousin has, where you've got January, February, and then you've got a day each week. You can see there are very faint highlights where the weekends are, just like the Hobonichi. So I've got 2 pages of that where you can actually keep an index. I did include a tab with some intro information, and this is just a reminder to myself about how the links work in this planner. Sometimes if you build a planner and then you don't use it for a little while and then you come back to it, you're like, how did I set this up? So this is just a reminder to myself on the monthly pages where the links are and where they go. Same thing on the weekly pages and the daily pages. So that's kind of a reminder to myself. And then I also have some notebooks set up here at the top. These are 12 individual notebooks that I can use for whatever. They're just like kind of collection notebooks. This is not a feature that you have in the Hobonichi cousin, but I always wanted it. So I built it myself in the digital version. All right, let me jump over to January so you can see. So this is a January through June digital planner. So right now, only January through June actually have all the links. There are monthly calendars for the rest of them, but they don't actually have any of the daily or weekly pages. So I can always come back in and add those. I just wanted to focus on the first half of the year. This is sort of like the Hobonichi avec, right? Okay, so I've got my monthly calendar, and you can see it looks really, really similar. I even tried to emulate the font of the Hobonichi cousin, so it kind of stays in that vein. I've got a place for notes. Over here on the side, I've got the month, and then week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. That's an easy way for me to navigate to the weekly pages. I also have navigation for each one of the days. I just click on it and I get to the daily page. And then on the daily pages, I can navigate to the weekly pages or to other daily pages or back to the month. So if I click here, I get back to the monthly page. If I click on the weekly pages, here's what the weeks look like. It looks just like, you know, the Hobonichi Cousin weekly pages with the columns. The only thing you don't have are the times, because I didn't use those times. So I've just got the columns that I can use there and navigate around. And that is pretty much the way that this page is used. The daily pages are very blank. So daily page just has the navigation over here, and then it's 2 pages blank. That's a little different than the Hobonichi Cousin, where you have 1 page. So it was really complicated to try to do 1 page. So I just get 2 full pages to do whatever I want to with. And, you know, every month is set up like that. So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about being able to hop into this. I love it. I used a similar Hobonichi Cousin style digital planner that I made in 2022, and really enjoyed being able to hop in and out of that and having it available to use as digital planning comes up. So those are my 2 digital planners. I hope that you enjoyed seeing kind of options that I'm giving myself to hop back into digital planning. I know I'm going to want to. I love being able to build my own digital planners and style them the way I want to. I love being able to take the planners that I love so much in the physical form and then kind of manipulate them to be even better in the digital form. I think that is so fun. So if you haven't dabbled in building your own digital planner, I highly recommend that you do that. It's really fun, and it's actually really easy. So again, I'll have some links down in the description box below for you to check out if you want to learn more. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Planning Annie for more content like this. And as always, thanks for planning with me.